Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Welcome back to another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, Billy Corgan's NWA. And holy crap, what a final that was. We finished off night 3 of the Super Cup. Great show rating, 56C is not bad at all. Really good matches on here too, except for actually, I think one of the lower scores, well, not quite, but one of the lower scores was our main event, in which Flip Gordon wins the first ever Super Cup, defeating Brian Pillman Jr., who came so far, but just couldn't quite make it all the way. Still a great showing, though. And a lot of you have been putting in predictions since the very beginning of the Super Cup. I see a lot of people had, I think Dalton Castle, I saw people were saying a little bit. Brian Pillman was definitely one of the favorites to win in the crowd, but actually it looked like Negan Fan 1 and J-Ball 717 both correctly predicted on night 1 that it would in fact be Flip Gordon. It was a really tough decision for me between Brian and Flip, but good work with your fantasy booking detection skills. You guys figured me out on that one. Good work. I think overall the show went really well. All 3 nights went well. Didn't do well financially for us, that's for certain. And we'll take a look at that in a second. But, you know, sometimes that's not everything. Sometimes it's about momentum building. And I think we definitely built some momentum with the last couple shows. This is concerning, though, that the buy rate we really have to look at. I'm just not happy with our pay-per-view deal. I think we have it on demand, and I don't think it's working out for us. Which is a shame, but I guess it is what it is. We might want to look at getting a new one. I mean, CW is a medium size, so that's great. We have 3 months left in our contract, so I cannot renegotiate. I can renegotiate, I think, under 3 months. So we got a couple weeks left to be able to take a look at this. But right now we're kind of locked in. Minimum quality is 41, which we've been hitting. That's not been that much of an issue. They do have some requirements here on our licensing front. That maybe we can look at other broadcasters. Right now, it looks like not much has changed on this front. Our broadcasting partners that are willing to join it with us, CW is still the largest with the pay-per-view system. Like, we might want a commercial or a subscription or a free-to-air might be better. These are definitely smaller promotions, though, or smaller groupings for their channel. So we're not going to get as much from this. But I just feel like we screwed ourselves with what we're getting from the pay-per-view structure. Like, I almost would rather get in the subscription system. El Rey's tiny, though, but like El Rey would be willing to put me in on, let's see, would you like take me on evening? No. Early evening? So they would take that. So like we could sign up for El Rey. We could actually do that now. We could sign up for, like, let's do like a 3-month deal. Unlimited contracts, early evenings. So what we could do is we could do championship wrestling on El Rey, and then the pay-per-view every month on the CW, and then try to renegotiate a better deal on the CW. And that way, that'd be interesting because we get to see exactly what was I going to say? We could see what our differences in what we are making from that on demand versus an early evening. Because if El Rey's giving us more money as a tiny promotion or a tiny TV network versus a medium at a commercial system with early evening, then we should definitely try to renegotiate with Hulu. And if they're not going to do what we need, we can drop them. Well, let's see if this works. I'll just do 3 months to try it out. We'll sign that deal. This is probably a huge mistake, but we'll go with it. We are still kind of. I mean, we're moving up a little bit, but we're not really making the progress that we would want. And our financials are bad. I think what we're going to do, and I don't like doing it, but we're probably going to do it once, is I'm going to put a cash infusion into this. Our owner is Billy Corgan. Normally, if you were playing an owner's game, or you're playing as a booker, a very rich owner could infuse cash and capital when needed. So I think we'll do like a one-time boost of this, just to try to help us out, because I would. There's a way for us to become solvent here, and I can never seem to figure out where we're really leaking the money the most. I mean, production values are bad. I can tell you that. Our worker expenditures were high this month, but we also performed 4 shows in 1 month, so that's to be expected. And honestly, the ticket sales almost eat that entire cost. So, the show cost a bit. Our production cost is really hurting us, but it's not that much higher than previous months. So, it's difficult. The money game's difficult. Unfortunately, I mean, we're expected to pay $34,000 a month. We're getting $42,000 just in income. Like, theoretically, we should just be able to stay solvent. So I'm not sure why we're losing so much money, but our alliance hasn't given us anything of value recently. I almost wonder if we should leave, because honestly, we're only making 121 last month. That's crappy. In May it cost us $1,700. The consortium, we just don't have enough people in our alliance that are giving us value, and the other companies that are out there can't provide us with a revenue to make it worth it. I mean, I can probably, there's a whole bunch of other alliances that have built up that will not help us. Like, I can't get Ring of Honor. Ideally, I would want, the Ring of Honor. I mean, the other thing is, I almost do we want to, would it be better if we left our own alliance and tried to join, tried to join New Japan's alliance? I would hate to kill the quote-unquote NWA Wrestling Alliance, but it's clearly not working for us. And would it be better to jump in and become part of the Ring of Honor family, kind of mirroring the real-life events currently going on? Some suspicious happenings that Billy Corgan's doing in real life right now, with his involvement in All In, with his executive production role in Being the Elite, which is basically a marketing arm for Ring of Honor in New Japan. Is the NWA folding into that umbrella and becoming like a different brand? Maybe that's something we look at. Let me know. What do you guys think? I don't hate the idea. I don't know if they'll take us, but I don't feel like our alliance is doing anything right now, and I feel like we should just resign. I would hate to give up the NWA, but I don't think it's helping us at all right now. And maybe that jump into the Ring of Honor's brand will help us more. We will give a cash infusion next game, though. So what we'll have to do is, I don't want to do it without stipulation. So what we're gonna have to do is, I think at the end of the year, well, it's Billy, so it's gonna be his cash. So we'll have to take him off the show for a certain period of time, because what we'll do is we'll treat it as though he goes on tour with his band, and the capital raised from that is what he infuses into the show. So we can't do that often. We could do that maximum one time a year, just because, it's a touring schedule, and it's going to take up 3 weeks of his schedule, so almost a month where he's going to be off the show, written off, not in the announcing team. So we'll have to also look at maybe putting a different announcer on. Not that he's helping us that much, so maybe we want to look at a better color announcer anyways. But that's sort of where we're at with that, because I'm not going to let us dip below. Neither would he. We would raise the capital somewhere else. But, if we keep on doing that, I have to put in some kind of mechanic that produces us a negative, because we can't just constantly put money into it, That's where that is. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's look at what's going on in our creative at this point. Just kind of want to see what's going on here. See if there's any hidden gems to pick up. That might be interesting. Not really. We do have our time decline. We did pick up a whole bunch of people. I had asked you guys who to pick up. I kind of ended up picking up everybody. I kind of thought, for the most part, everybody could have a value. So this is good. My goal with the Super Cup, really, even though Flip won, that show was really about Brian Pillman. And this is where exactly we want him to be. We want him to be a blue chip. We want him to be building momentum, building skill, building loyalty with the NWA, and then eventually we can pull the trigger and make him something special. I very easily can see him with a North American Championship very soon. I would not even be shocked if that's really soon. I'm kind of curious to see what his momentum is at and what his how people are feeling about him. Let's take a look. Where are you, Brian Pillman? I should look at B. B would help. So Midwest 28, 29. I mean, he's building in a lot of places, which is good. His gimmick is great. He's got his father's gimmick, and it's awesome. Rookie year, like already here, is great. And then strong physical ability. So like he's doing well. He's got a protege relationship now with Christopher Daniels. He's in a tag team with Ryan Nemeth. So probably we're going to use that momentum build to maybe get him a tag team championship shot and move on from there. I think that would be not a bad idea. He's happy, which is good. Can I see the build of him? I don't remember if I can see his growth. If we did anything to him. I feel like we did. I feel like we've started to help move him up. His momentum is minor positive right now, so even though he lost the tournament, getting that minor positivity was good. And it wasn't his time. I was going back and forth between Flip and Brian Pillman, but I wanted somebody that fighting Cody actually could be a legitimate winner. Because I don't know, maybe Flip wins the NWA championship. Maybe something happens. Maybe we build to something else. There's a lot that we can do there. And I don't think Brian Pillman was ready yet. But I was really half and half. I wasn't quite sure. It was a difficult decision. All right, so we do have a show in 12 days for Championship Wrestling. Let's go ahead and we need to book another pay-per-view, though. So we've been doing 2.5-hour shows for our pay-per-views, which have been pretty good, except for the Super Cup, which we did 2 hours each. So this is going to be in October. So let's steal from real-life events. Open calendar. I want to see what we're looking at here. Looks like Tuesdays and Mondays should be fine. Everybody else is working everywhere else on all other days, being very annoying. So let's go ahead and do Monday. So this will be an annual. And I'm going to actually spend a little extra money. Not a lot. About $5,000. in the Midwest. Might only do like 1,000. That's a little much for us. Maybe a local celebrity too. And maybe a local band. Okay. This is actually going to be a special one time. Okay. So, October, it would be 3rd week on a Monday. We are going to do NWA. What would it be? It would be Septu Generate. We'll call it Generation. Septu? Let me get my phone here. Basically, the real life NWA is putting on a show because they are becoming 70 years old. Long history now. Septu Generation instead of septuagenarian. We'll do a 2.5-hour show. So basically, it's a celebration of them being 70 years old. We'll add a little extra boost here. It's a special, so it'll be a one-time and won't pop up again. It won't be an annual show. And we'll continue. So we'll have that to build up to, which we will build up to tonight in Championship Wrestling. So let's go ahead and fast forward here and get to our next episode of Championship Wrestling. All right, so we are back here, week 1 of August, ready for our show. We do have some contracts to negotiate, some mail to go through. Looks like Paul Ellering is going up to WE roster, which is interesting. And then it looks like Seth Rollins is going to Hollywood. That's weird. It's kind of cool, though. Nothing else crazy going on in the world. Braun Strowman fought TJP. That's a thing. And then Conor McGregor apparently is in WWE now. So that's all very weird. And let's see what we got. Regional battles. 6 out of 12 in the Great Lakes. So we're basically 6th place in the regional battles everywhere. That's fine. Tessa Blanchard, Stardom. Will Ospreay's fully fit. Viper. Enzo has handed in his notice as he is unhappy with NWA. He has 7 days remaining for the company. Why? For what? I've done nothing to you. Is it because I didn't give you, because you lost the belt? Really? Really? Rich Swann signed an exclusive contract with WWE, so we're not going to get him. And Will Ospreay got hurt again. All right, let's look at this Enzo thing. Enzo, what's wrong? Why are you angry? Being refused the full pay raise. I mean, you are the North American champion right now. God damn it. Oh, God. Why? He's leaving when a current deal expires. Well, sir. Good thing you don't have creative control, because I'm about to fuck you up. Pardon the French. Okay, so we know what we're going to do here, because I'm going to make sure we get that belt off of him. Luckily, we have 5 days to go, so he will not be vacating the title. Wow, it's crazy. You give a guy everything, and he stabs you in the back like that. I mean, I gave him the belt. I gave him the North American Championship. I gave it off of Nick Aldis. I took it off of him to give Enzo something to do. So I believed in him. I believed in his star power. I believed in his ability to put on a good performance. And he stabs you in the back like that. Is that how the real one works? Apparently so. I'm really pissed off. But that's fine. All things will work out. Enzo needs the NWA more than the NWA needs Enzo Amore. That's what I'm going to say. Company relationship change involving PWG. Now a hostile view of the NWA. Yeah? Yeah? Is that so? And he has left NWA. Okay, so I guess actually we did not have time for it. Damn, I was going to bury him. So... And I guess you don't want to come back. Yeah, well. That is a bummer. So now the title, presumably, is vacant. After giving it to him. And, yeah. Well. That just really, really grinds my gears. That is really something. That is unbelievable. Well, we still have to fill up the X division. We still have the North American title that we have to now fill. And Flip Gordon won the Super Cup. So we have that there. I just can't believe that, though. Now I kind of want to look and make sure everyone... I mean, I've been giving out... I've not been able to give everybody the raises they wanted. A lot of people are annoyed with me. I mean, I've... almost want to say, could we give everybody... How much would it cost if I gave everybody a bonus? Just $50,000. $100,000. All right, so that's not gonna... All right, I'm gonna... I mean, Nick Aldis is happy. Even though he's annoyed that I just gave him a full pay raise. But he's happy. Is anybody upset? He's annoyed. He was left off the Super Cup. If we give him a $2,000 bonus, or $2,500 probably will make him happy. Yep. I don't want anybody annoyed. I don't want to lose anybody else. Irritated's fine. Sami Callihan, actually don't really care if he's that annoyed. I'll give him a $1,000 bonus, see if he's happier. He goes down to irritated. That's good. Ryback, I don't care if he's annoyed or not, to be honest. Paul Pinky George is annoyed for being left off a show. That's give you $1,000. Please, that's better. Irritated's fine. I don't care if Cholo's annoyed. Josephus is annoyed, but why? And Vince, okay, I'll give him $1,000. There you go. Just giving out money. Just going up to irritated. Irritated's fine. I don't want annoyed. Angry. Why are you angry? Corey. There. Stop being angry. I'm gonna give you $2,500. That just took him up to annoyed. Okay. Extremely happy. Cody is good. Chris Dickinson, I don't care. Bull's annoyed. I can give him like $1,000. This is expensive. This is really getting expensive. Brian Pillman's happy. Hangman's annoyed. Why? What did I do to you? Okay, so I didn't. I gave them all like a 50% to 75% raise. I just can't afford the full amount. Is that so much to ask? No, I want bonus. All right, I'm gonna give him a $2,000 raise or $2,000 bonus. Still annoyed. Well, oh well. All right. So we got some behavioral problems. Enzo ditched us. We might be able to get him back eventually, but that's a shame because I think he was our best talker. So, I mean, we have other really good talkers. It's not the end of the world. And he definitely served his purpose for a while. But this definitely changes some stuff that we'll have to deal with. The Zoe army's pretty much done. So, the stable's gone. We can remove it. We said we were going to add somebody to the NWA here. Who did we say it was? I can't even remember. I mean, Tama and Tenga should be members. That's good for now. We kind of want one other person for, out there. I can't remember who we were talking about. We wanted someone to eat pins. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. All right, save it now. We need some more we need some more stables. Some more teams in here would be nice, but all right. Wow, that sucks. Okay. So we just ate like $11,000 to make people a little bit pleased. Let's go ahead and go to tonight and see what's going on. All right. Not sure why that didn't go forward. Huh. The backstage rating is slightly higher without Enzo. That's shocking. Hangman Page has a strong friendship with everybody. And let's meddle. And we'll... Nothing. Okay, that's fine. We do have to set our broadcasters, so let's try El Rey. Let's see what we get here. I think we can add him. I think we just can't have both running, which is fine. So we'll do El Rey for the championship wrestling. For the pay-per-views, we'll try CW and just see how it works out. Cody, Sammy, a whole bunch of people are now working elsewhere tonight. But that's fine. We don't necessarily need any of them. We're not going to be putting the belts on the line for that. Not having a tag team champions kind of sucks. Actually, we have one of them. I don't understand that, but all right. Well, where are we going to be? That is the $1 million question. We are expecting 2,200 fans. Where is... No, I don't want to go there. Sioux Center Convention Center will fill it. Yeah, that sounds good. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's book this show and figure out what the hell we're going to do. All right, guys. We are back for Championship Wrestling. See what the hell we can make out of this after Enzo ditched us. But let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. All right, so we start off the show having to address the obvious in the room. Paul Pinky George III comes out in the ring with the North American title and addresses the fans. He says that you've all heard about it already. You've heard about it on social media. You know about it from the dirt sheets. You heard Dave Meltzer talk about it at the Wrestling Observer. You do know that there was a falling out in the back office, and the North American champion, Enzo Amore, has vacated the title and left the promotion to be a quote-unquote Instagram star. So he's about to announce something, and before that, Nick Aldis's music hits, and he comes out to the ring. He's furious about the situation. It seems like he's furious at Paul Pinky George. He seems furious about Enzo. And he comes to the ring and grabs a microphone. He says that the belt should revert to him, that watching the tapes, he saw Enzo cheat. He had distractions. The ref wasn't doing his job, and that this whole thing is a sham. That because his win was not legitimate, it should revert back to him because he never truly lost fair and square. Pinky George doesn't seem to have very much of that at all. And he says, no, that's not how we do things around here. We can't have a vacated title, and we can't just revert decisions from the ref. We will have an elimination match tonight, a 4-way elimination match with hand-picked competitors from the best of the Super Cup. And the winner will face you, Nick Aldis, at Septuageneration for the now vacated title. So tonight, there will be a 4-way elimination match. And in that match, there are competitors that did not win the Super Cup, but did well, and were fan favorites. Whoever wins that elimination match will face Nick Aldis and end up at Septuageneration for the now vacated title. Got the show to a strong shot, I can't talk. Got the show to a strong start. Angle got the crowd hotter. Nick Aldis looked excellent, and Pinky just looked lost. That's a shame. C, not a bad start. I'd say that's good. We start with a match, though, for the night. Flip Gordon has a dominant match against Ho Ho Loon. Defeats him in 7 minutes with a shooting star press. Just to give him a good win, give him a little extra momentum after having won the Super Cup. You know, he is going to be facing Cody. So moving him in and giving him some wins before that isn't a bad idea. D, not much to say about it, though. Ho Ho Loon is sort of our enhancement talent right now, so given a domination booking isn't going to destroy him. He knows what he is. We have a debut of Naomi, who ends up fighting Viper and getting 2 points in the women's X division. So it's a debut performance. It's actually a pretty gnarly match. They just brutalize each other. Viper actually takes a stunt bump in the match. It got the crowd buzzing, even though it's not rated very technically high. Naomi's not actually that great of a wrestler, but she has a lot of momentum on her side. I actually would, if I was booking, I would actually say Vipers probably has a better in-ring performance than Naomi, but you know, I guess not every mod maker agrees. That's fine. It was a car crash, and Viper is improving her performance skills. So you know, it's just a nasty, gnarly match to debut her. But that gives her 2 points on the card for her debut for the X division, since as we know, Ronda is not here with the belt. until then, we have the X Division to kind of play around with. That gives her, right now there's a lot of tie, I believe, with Brandy and Tessa and Viper. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. We also have a promo. Dustin Rhodes comes out and starts talking about NWA and kind of doing a promo about the septuagenarian time of the NWA. Says, it's not his father's organization, but it's definitely of his father's legacy, and he's so proud to be here to continue that legacy. So proud to be here with his brother during his career renaissance, and he's so proud that the fans are here. It's a very babyface promo, but it gets interrupted by Christopher Daniels, who's very ominous as he kind of comes out. It cuts a really strong promo against Dustin Rhodes and says, you are not your father. You are only a clown formally dressed in gold makeup. He's like, you think this is your legacy, but it's not. It's nobody's legacy but mine. Because I have seen the future, and the future tells me that the NWA belongs to us, not the old legacy, the tired legacy of Dusty Rhodes. And he'll prove it tonight. So, it gets the crowd hotter. Not much to say about it. C rating. I mean, they're both good on the mic. I actually kind of expected Daniels to pick up more on the mic rating, but that's fine. And we end up having a match tonight. Dustin Rhodes in his debut match against Christopher Daniels, who seems very confident that he will show him what's up. We have another X Division match. Candice LeRae versus Brandy Rhodes. It's not great, but Candice came out looking great. Brandy Rhodes defeats her Candice LeRae defeats Brandy Rhodes in 10 minutes by a submission. Gets a 48. Candice is a much better wrestler than Brandy, and it certainly shows in the match performance. And that gives Candice now 2 points, now putting her on the board and also tying with a lot of people. We now also have a interview with Jimmy Jacobs backstage, just talking about the issues he's had with Sami Callihan and how he expects it all to end at the end of this month at Septuageneration. He talks about how he was misguided by the ways of the cult and realized that he was just a pawn, a means to their end. And he feels such regret for ruining his tag team friendship with Juice Robinson, CJ Robinson, and how he wishes he was here to make up, but he's proud of what he's doing in New Japan. And he knows that if he defeats Sammy, he can be forgiven, or Jimmy can be forgiven, and maybe it's penance due for the bad deeds that he's done. So, it builds it up a little bit. Seems like it does well. He's a good mic worker, so having him on the mic is always solid. We don't have as good of a mic worker as Enzo out there, but, Jimmy can hold his own. We have a debut match for Zack Ryder. I think his debut match. I don't think we had him on here yet. He is fighting Tama Tonga, one half of the tag team champions, and defeats him. It actually it was a worked a crowd match, I believe, which apparently they did not really need. Yeah, it was a worked a crowd. Zack Ryder was due to win. They're actually pretty even, and interesting enough, Tama Tonga seemed off his game, which makes me wonder if Tama Tonga actually has a higher in-ring performance when put together. They don't really have any known chemistry, but nothing bad. I expected a little bit more there, but it's not horrible. But Zack Ryder gets a win, gets a little bit of momentum at NWA to show off what he can do, and all the woo-woo-woos, obviously, in the crowd. We have another X Division match, Tenille versus Julia Ho. decent wrestling, but didn't have a lot of heat. Tenille defeats Julia Ho in 10 minutes with a roaring elbow. Tenille is definitely, by and large, a better in-ring performer. But though they have good chemistry, so that's good to know. If we can build Julia up, or maybe even have them tag, to kind of, there might be something we can do there to kind of build some, use that chemistry for Julia as an advantage to kind of help her perform a little bit better. Not that bad, nothing much to say, though that also puts Tenille on the board with 2 points, which will lead into this, obviously. So we have a conundrum. Because all of these women have been successful in their X Division matches, we have a tie, and going into Septuageneration will be when the belt is declared. And since there is a tie, there will be a ladder match between Candice, Ashley, Brandy, Naomi, Tenille, Tessa, and Viper for the first ever X Division champion. And that does pretty well. C+ rating, not bad. Tenille really looked good out there. Pinky's getting better. That's always good. And Candice came off well. So not too bad. Crowd got excited by it. It's a pretty good rating for it. That's almost a B-. That's not bad. And then we have our elimination bout for the opportunity to face Nick Aldis for the vacated North American title. Apparently it's a poor match, though, which is unfortunate. Brian Pillman defeats Bull James, Tim Storm, and PJ Black in an elimination match. Tim Storm was first eliminated, then PJ Black, and finally in a one-on-one against Bull James, Pillman takes the win. Almost a 50, so it's not horrible. But Bull and Tim kind of drug it down with, Pillman's not that great of a wrestler yet. I mean, 46 is amazing for a rookie year, though. So, he's got a lot of potential, but not necessarily, he's not superstar yet, right? He does, though, advance, so he will be facing Nick Aldis. He's improving his performance skills, and so again, because he is a rookie, basically would be a young lion in New Japan. He's going to be improving his skills very often, which will make him very valuable to us. The more we put him in things, that's good. And of course, we are a mixed, and we I don't remember. We might actually be a popularity over performance promotion. I don't remember that, or an equal promotion. So either way, the more popular he gets, the more wins he gets, the more momentum he gets, the better he'll look out there, regardless of whether his in-ring skill is, not fantastic. Which actually, it's not bad. It's not bad, especially for first year. It's actually really good. But we'll move him up. And we have a little video hyping it up, saying that Brian Pillman Jr. and Nick Aldis will be facing each other at the Septuageneration. And finally, we have our main event. Gets a C, not bad. Dustin Rhodes versus the Avatar, Christopher Daniels. It's a great match with great heat. Dustin Rhodes actually defeats the Avatar in 17 minutes by a pinfall after actually being a little sly and cheating a little bit. Christopher Daniels kind of gets him scared, and he ends up cheating to win a little bit to get a quick roll up. Uses a foreign object. Dustin's is visibly tiring. Avatar, Christopher Daniels, huge in-ring performance. Dustin Rhodes, not as much, but not bad. Nothing much else to say there, though. This is the first time I think we've seen Christopher Daniels actually take a loss, even though it wasn't a singles loss, to be sure. So I think there was a tag loss earlier, but he didn't take the pin. Actually, his team might not have lost that. I don't remember, but what we did have there is him still being dominant, but Dustin's holding his own, but having to use a little bit of leverage to defeat him. And definitely going to build up the tensions between the two, because Christopher Daniels seemed to already have in his mind the conclusion of that match, and I don't think that's what he expected. So not bad, C-. We're doing well there. Increase our popularity in 11 regions. So let's go ahead and make some speeches. We could talk about who was it that was off of their game? I think it was Tamatonga. I don't think we need to. I mean, that match was good enough. I don't want to even talk poorly to them. Point them out as a good example. Brian Pillman, praise for a great performance. And let's do Naomi. Actually, Julia Ho, because she took a good pin. Told that they're awesome. Good. Everyone's happy. There's nothing to be mad about. All right. Unread emails. Go ahead and take a look. See who else quit. Pay raise request. Oh wow, we're only paying him $230. I can do that. Should I give him the full amount? Should I still be? I can give him 75% of it. Actually, no. Yeah. He won't be upset with that. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So 0.02 rating is a little bit higher than the CW pay-per-view. So that's kind of interesting. Something we should look at. All right. So low on money. So we're going to have Billy Corgan give us a little bit of capital. Hopefully that's the last that we need. Eventually we can probably get into the black here somehow. TV revenue is only 5,000 though. We'll have to take a look. We're going to have to take a hard look at the books and figure out whether a commercial TV deal versus a pay-per-view will be better, even with the buy rates. I have a suspicion that the lower buy rate might still be better. We'll take a look at it. Who knows? At that point, we might even be able to negotiate with our broadcaster, because it's under in a week. We should be able to renegotiate a deal. I believe. I think you need to be under 3 months. Still more than 3 months remaining. Yeah. So we'll talk about it and look at it, and we might be able to actually get a improved deal with them. I would like to get it maybe early evenings or something like that, because right now we have it as a not graveyard, but yeah, I think we're set for on demand, which can be like as low as lower than graveyard or as high as prime time. It depends on what it is, and I think right now we're getting close to graveyard. So even if we could get a early evening or something like that, that might not be a bad option for us. Anyways, guys, that is it. Oh, look at that. We're building up momentum. We were at 11. Now we're at 17. Getting there slowly but surely. I will see you guys for Septu Generation. We got some cool matches lined up. Got some stuff happening. And we'll follow Enzo's career outside of the NWA, and hopefully he doesn't go anywhere important. Maybe we can steal him back just to... now I'm pissed off. I kind of want to just hire him just to make him job to everybody and then boot him out. Is that wrong? I don't know. But, that is it. I will see you guys next time.